Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Tasha coming at you with another video, first video of the year. So of course we have to start out with a bullet journal flip through. I am obsessed with bullet journals. I am gonna pat myself on the back right now because this will be my 10th year bullet journaling. You heard that right. 10 freaking years of obsessively planning out my life, essentially. If you have seen some of my previous videos, then you know that I don't do a bunch of like washi tape or a bunch of drawing or doodling or art making or anything, even though I'm an artist, which is funny, but I don't do a bunch of extra stuff in mine. I just try and keep it really minimal. I just use one black pen. This time I'm using a Faber-Castell 0.5 pen, and yeah, it's a really nice journal. This is the brand. I have never seen this brand before or used it before. I just saw it at the art store and I was like, I'm gonna give it a try. How fun. Love the color. And stone paper, it's really soft. Like this whole journal is just like soft and just feels very luxe and high quality, and I love that. So let's get into it. I decided to switch up my front situation, my kind of like intro beginning pages before like the bulk of the calendar stuff, and so you'll see that reflected here compared to my previous journals. My phrase, or I guess word for 2023 is deeply rooted. That just to me means being very present, very intentional, very succinct and committed to myself and my relationships. And I'm just really vibing with that right now. Like it's just really speaking to me. So I love this, love being able to look at this every time I open my journal, just giving me a little bit of a reminder and a moment to just like check in with myself. So I did a very small index right here, which I will just end up putting like when each monthly spread is, because it helps me find my monthly spreads faster when I'm hopping from month to month looking at meeting notes or finance stuff, etc. This is where I will do my goals spread. It's obviously blank because, you know, that's private for now. But I just split it with one side personal goals, the other side business goals. And I don't make it cute or anything. I literally just start scribbling. I just start dumping ideas down, dumping out ideas. I use like arrows and little lines breaking off to break down those ideas and goals and projects into actionable steps, because it's one thing to just write down I'm gonna buy a new car or whatever, but it's like, how are you going to buy a new car, right? Like what things do you need to do to put yourself in that position to get to that end goal? And then from there I will decide what things I should work on throughout the year, quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I'll break up my goals and try and focus on them in the appropriate season, and that essentially keeps me on track as I move throughout the year. And then we have the year at a glance spreads. Every year I try and make my journal a little more functional, and last year my year at a glance got really jacked up because it was just so like, look at that. This is all from like earlier this year, but I felt like I needed more space, so I gave myself a little more space instead of having the quarterly goals at the header. And I spread it out 2 months per page, so I really have a better outlook on the year. And just as I book things throughout the year, I add them into the months, and that's where I'll jot down like birthdays and stuff. Here I will make my 2023 financial plan. Essentially, I just look at last year. This year I'm really going to be focusing on categorizing my clients based off type of artwork, and then figuring out what group I was making the most money in, and then try and lean into that. So for me, that looks like art markets and in-person sales, and then we have workshops, and then we have murals, and then we have online store, and then we have like custom commissions, which is like, I guess, like brand work and stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to diving into this. I actually really enjoy doing this. I used to have a lot of anxiety around money and finances, but when you write it all down, like, because I'll go into like all of my monthly expenses and stuff too. So like throughout the year, you always have a running list of like what's coming out of your accounts every month. And so even within the financials, I will break that down into my business and my personal, and just reevaluate and see where I can slim down this year and where I should be focusing. And then this is just like very specific to me. Like we are going to try and buy a house this year. So I have a page dedicated to that and how much I'm going to be putting aside for it, and the things that I'm looking for. Because when you write down the things that you want, desire, and need, and like really hone in on how you're going to do it, like that's like physical manifestation. Like you're putting it out into the universe so that the good things can come. I know that sounds woo-woo, and it's not without, you doing the work you need to do, but like it works for me. So that's what I'm doing. This is another new spread that I came across watching tons and tons of bullet journal videos on YouTube. And it's a yearly routine builder. And I don't know if I will be successful with keeping up with it. I really hope I am. But essentially, there are some tasks that I want to like really hone in on, and some habits that I really want to build. And so I just have that here for like weekly things I want to do every other week, monthly, and then quarterly. And so just like things like I want to make sure I'm watering my plants on time, because I've been really bad about that. Things like cutting the dog's nails and brushing its teeth, and dusting my blinds, because the blinds on my windows collect literally so much dust. Just little things like that I tend to let slip until it's really bad. I want to try and do that better. So even if I'm not like extra super consistent, this is going to make me more consistent than I was prior to, for sure. This page, my friend Luz influenced me into joining the 52 hike challenge this year. So I am going to be doing that, and I will be doing a small plein air painting to go with each hike, and probably a little writing to go with that. And that is what is exciting me about it, because in reality, I really just want to plein air paint more, which is painting outside. And this just goes along with that. So hopefully it'll help keep me accountable doing it with a friend. So these are some more routine spreads that I've decided to include. My ideal morning routine, my ideal night routine, my ideal studio work routine, which I've never subscribed to having a work routine. It's kind of just like I do whatever I want, but I'm realizing that it may not be the best. So I like to try out some structure, and then also a workout routine. And when I mean workout routine, like how many times a week do I want to focus on certain things? I'm not about to be assigning days per se, but I do want to kind of get more specific about my workout goals and how I'm going to achieve those. I'm really excited about this spread, the project workflow. I had something similar in my previous journal, but it was a lot more minimal and didn't make as much sense, but I'm excited about this. And it's for essentially like all of my commercial illustration. It's all the same steps, concepts, talk it out, make corrections, talk that out, make final concepts, talk that out, talk about color palette, then we'd go into final artwork, then make sure you send the invoice, make sure they sign the contract, just stuff like that. Like, I want to just be sure that I can be on top of my stuff. And then I always keep a blank kind of like brainstorm idea list. As I am sitting at my desk working on stuff, I always keep my journal with me, so if something comes up and I have an idea, I will jot it down on here. And I decided to add check boxes this time just so I can visually see if I actually end up executing any of the ideas or if it ends up just living on this page forever. So that was pre-journal. Something like almost 20 pages. Now we're on to my monthly spread, which I'm doing exactly like I've done the last like 3 years. I really like this setup. It works for me. I just do my month on this corner, and I will write down my current projects that I'm working on, like whatever clients or I don't know, Instagram jobs, whatever. Like if whatever I'm working on is on here. Any to do or notes, that tends to be like personal reminders for personal life stuff, or like reminding myself to like make sure I shoot a hello email to somebody or something. And then I will also write some intentions for the month, just to kind of give myself a positive boost and remind myself of my goals, and you know, give yourself that extra little mental loving that sometimes you need. And then this bottom section here is blank, and I normally use that for meeting notes, and I can show you what that ends up looking like. So here is this last year's June. I had projects. These were the projects I was working on. These were my notes and random things. I had my intentions here, and then I will write my meeting notes down, the date, whoever I'm talking to, jot down whatever little notes. If I run out of space, I just end up using Post-its, and simple as that. Some months they're really packed like this, and then there's some months I have no meetings, and that's why I don't mind doing the Post-it note situation, because it works and it's a really easy way to like add information, be able to pull it right out and use that. And then for my weekly spreads, I am again keeping it the same, my old true and triedy. Tried and true, not true and triedy, Lord. A to-do list, and then Monday through Sunday. Boom. Bada bang, bada gosh dang boom. And I do the same, I guess, blocking method, or I guess, what do you call this? Where you have the boxes. Here we go. The check boxes and stuff. I do the same boring old bullet journal method of that. Nothing special. X when it's done. Arrow for if I have to push it to another day. And yeah, that is how I have set up my journal for the year. I didn't even bother trying to put in nobody book list, child. I am just tired of pretending that I'm going to do that. I'm going to allow myself to read books as I feel like it, and not pressure myself and try and pretend that I'm going to become a bookworm, because it's just not going to happen. So there was no infamous like books I read this year spread, which is like one of the more popular ones. It ain't for me. But thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you guys are having a great new year. And if you are trying bullet journal for the first time, let me know. If you're well seasoned like me, let me know. If you have any ideas or feedback, also let me know. Thanks so much, y'all. See you in the next one.